Hey all, this is Real Talk Chimp, streaming live on YouTube at Real Talk Chimp. That's RealTalkChimp. This will be part one of building a 3D wooden puzzle from CuteBee, this DIY miniature house of the Beika-Cho convenience store, which is like just what you would see here, a convenience store in Japan, but it's 2 stories. Upstairs you have a detective agency, and downstairs you have a convenience store. While this architecture is different than the model kits that I put together before, this is still part of the City Walk series. The item number is CWGC222. I will be doing an unboxing as well as a tutorial. All the information for this kit is in the description, as well as where you can purchase said building as well as tools. So this particular kit size is 15.5 by 13.8 by 22.1 centimeters. It does have LED lights. You will have to provide 2 AAA batteries. It's for ages 14 and up. Glue and other tools are not included. That's what they say. That's why I have my own tools. Assembly time is 3 to 5 hours. The difficulty is 2 stars. The parts are 288 pieces. So we will start off with an unboxing. As they put out these newer kits, they definitely do a better job, I'll tell you. Even though these kits have been out for years, I guess as they manufacture them more and more, I don't know. First off, as we open the box, we have an accessories packet. If you can read that, then you get a cookie. Suggestions. So there will be English translation as well as Chinese and Japanese and Spanish and French. So they're all goodies in here. We'll take a look and see what's inside this goodie bag here. We have, it's like an MRE bag. Pretty cool. All right, we have the little plastic clear tape that we've used in the past to hold down wires and whatever. We have a little window piece, but it has film on both sides, so you'll have to peel the film off. It has some stickers. Oh, of something. It comes with a little file. I have my own from the previous kit, but you can see it's pretty well used. So it does come with the filing, and then your little packet of LED. So this one comes with bulbs. The previous one came with LED strips. There's the little touchpad to turn it on. The battery box. I don't feel a power switch on this one. So I have provided my own 2 AAA batteries. I don't know. I got them at Dollar Tree. Who knows if they'll last more than a few minutes. But I guess we'll check and see. They're like $1.50 at Dollar Tree. So, okay, so that's that in general. I usually check these first before I build the plastic kit. So we'll put all the other stuff back in the accessory pack. Remember, if you like this type of content, hit that like button. More people will be able to find me. I don't know how many other people are out there doing these 3D wooden puzzles. Also, comment. I'd like to be entertained by your comment, your wittiness. Of course, share at Real Talk Chimp with your friends and family. I'm sure they'll want to know about chimpanzees and more. And subscribe to the channel if you're not already subscribed, because I do put out content almost every day. So these are the plates that have all the parts on them. That right there is the little key that they give you with all sets. You punch the little key out, and then you use it to punch out all the parts that are inside here. I generally use tweezers or my thumbs, but yeah, let's see if we can get into this. It is apparently child-proof. It is apparently chimpanzee-proof. They do not want anybody getting inside here. As always, if you find a piece that's missing, it has been inspected by somebody. QC pass. Somebody inspected this, but didn't put a date on there. Lovely. And we have another, I think it's a dust cover that goes on the front. Remember, there's film, clear film on both sides. You'll have to peel it off. We have one of the signs that go in the window. So you can see it there. So that's like a little rice paper or whatever material this is, some type of thin plastic that will go up in that window up there. You may have to peel some film off of this, I'm not sure. And the instruction manual right here. Safety warnings, attention. This. Sicher, that's the word warning. Achtung! Wartung und Pledge. Advertisement die Security Nuts et Precautions. I don't know. Other foreign languages as well, but I only speak English, so we're going to stick with the English. And whatever else these other languages are as well. So yeah, the instruction manual is in multiple languages. It is a worldly product. So third page, it gives you what you have in that accessory packet that I just showed you. They call that sticker. PVC, okay, they're calling it PVC. Wax paper, I thought it was rice paper, it's wax paper. So I'm sure if it's wax paper under extreme heat, it'll melt. Those little stickers, the dust-proof sheet, the little, I don't know what to call these, frosted rods. That sounds kind of kinky, but that's what those files are, frosted rods. The battery box for the two AAA batteries, the LED touch line, and then the actual LED light with the wiring harness. So you want to go through your instructions. Most people breeze past the instructions. I don't blame you. Get to the building there, chimpanzee. So right out the gate, it does what I always do, is check the LED connection to make sure it works first, and then go into building the kit. That's what we're going to do. We did the unboxing. Now we're going to do the building. So we're going to continue to use that box because we're going to put stuff that we're not using at the moment in there. This is my kit. It's in the description. I've been building this out as I get more kits. I've been building this out with more stuff. This basically has files. It has tweezers. It has little miniature screwdrivers for different kits that I've worked on. I have a Sharpie in there that I've shown in the past. More X-Acto knife blades. So generally, in all the kits that I build, I use a X-Acto knife for fine line cutting, cutting. I have this cut board here, which I also have in the description. You can get them, I got them at Amazon. You can get them at any crafting store. You can use scissors as well. I use tweezers for small, teeny tiny parts because this is a miniature. I have two AAA batteries, I said I got these at Dollar Tree. I don't know if they're Survive. I normally use Energizer or Duracell, but whatever. And then I have the Frosted Rod. The filing. You will have to file probably every single kit in there. Every single kit I've had they file in it. Plus, I use Elmer's white glue because it clear. I'm sorry, not white glue, clear glue. It's just an easy glue to use, and it's $1 at at a Dollar Tree. Also, some of these kits, not this one, but the last couple of kits, come with this really good glue. But a lot of them don't want to send them because things come from China and they don't want the things to melt or explode. But the B7000, whatever this compound is, it's like a super glue. So really be careful with it. If you want to, invest in that, you want to dry quicker, etc., etc. So we're going to start off with that. But we're going to try to get into these plates. I mean, like I said, they made it chimpanzee proof. You can't get into it. If you're ever missing a part, you can contact CuteBee or whatever company you bought it, the thing from, and they'll send you out another plate. And they're pretty good about that. I had a kit a while back that was missing a bunch of glasses and stuff like that, and they sent me a little accessory pack that had the stuff in it for free. All I had to do was pay shipping because it is coming from far away. So we got a Bryson. How you doing there, Bryson? We have a Sale M-A-E. I don't want to mess up names. Hello. Ramon Rojas. How you doing there, pal? Thank you guys and gals for hanging out. I appreciate it. I am also under lighting because I am working with little itty bitty parts that will fly away, fall off the table, etc. All right, so right out of the gate, we're going to see if this LED thing works, because this is the biggest complaint that people have, is the LED not working. Now, most of these little touchpad is already connected to the wiring harness. That could freak people out. While I'm not an electrician, but I do play one on TV. No. Okay, so that is the touchpad right here, but it has to be connected to the wiring harness. So with any basic knowledge of connecting pluggages. Okay, so we have one of these. So it shows you in here, I guess, which ones to connect. 25 centimeters, okay. So we have this light here with black and red. I already have it all connected. Okay. Pretty long. Okay. Well, we know that one's going to connect to said battery box. Actually, two are going to connect, and one is going to connect to the little pressure switch. So now we just have to figure out which one it is. It's not that one. Hey, we made a connection. All right, so not obviously, that is going to connect to your pressure switch. Okay, so we have the pressure switch going to the battery box, and we have the lights now going to the battery box. I don't push real hard, I don't want to break anything. Okay, and then we're going to open up said battery box. Teeth are always effective in opening things, but there is a little push area right here. So let's use our tool here. All right, we have opened said battery box. All right, it will tell you inside here which direction batteries go in. 1.57, 1.5, God, I can't get that thing to work. All right. So we're going to push the butt into the spring there. Push the little butt into the spring here. Before we close it up, we're going to, look at that, we've got like touchpad. So here's the touchpad. Press it, little light bulbs turn on. And they are bright. It's good. Touchpad off. Oh, I pissed it off. Maybe that was it. The Dollar Tree batteries lasted for one click, and there you go. Oh, no, there they go. It's just very sensitive. We put it over here so you can see it. It's just very sensitive. All right, that's good. We know that works, so we're going to take said batteries out. Put them in our little bag, accessory bag, until we need these parts. Okay. Goes that way. Okay. Put everybody away. Generally, this is a task towards the very end of building your model kit. But it's good that they added this. I mean, you could buy these at model shops, you know, to light up your doll houses or your little plastic cars or whatever you need LED lights for. Most hobby stores that I know of carry these little things here. Back in the day when they had the Radio Shack, you could buy these things for a couple of bucks. I don't got Radio Shack no more. I'm sure they have something like it somewhere. All right, all sealed up. Put into its place. We'll put it back in the sassy MRE. This is so cute. This little accessory pack looks just like an MRE, something you get in your MREs. But it's cute the way they have it set it up, like a little backpack. I don't know. Maybe little kids can use it for something. The little twisty back in there as well. We'll keep everything in its spot. All right, so we got that knocked out, and now we can actually start the kit. So remember I told you that most kits come with this little push piece here. It helps to punch the pieces out. It says it's on C, and it's C33. So we can come over here. We have the A plate, which is here. We have the C plate. I don't know why it's out of order, but we have a C plate here. So there we go. That little thing right there is what they're talking about. So we can push these out. I got so many of these things. I've already built like 8 or 9 of these kits. So all it is this little thing right here, and it just helps you to push things out. Use this in, push things out, or you can use your hands to push them out. Whatever you want. It's included in there. Okay. We need what? Hopefully Sandy will come over here and help us out. So I'll get the tablet to pop up. Okay. So right out the gate, we're working on part 2, I guess, because part 1 was connecting the wires here. So part 2. It's like we're building a shelf. So we're going to need G's and D's, it looks like. So I'll tell you one thing, compared to the other instruction manual that I used for the previous wooden model kit, this one is quite funky. Quite funky. Very small. And the text and pictures and stuff. I'm just trying to get my tablet up. So if you're an anime fan, this kit is perfect for you because it's based off of an anime. It's based off of an anime. It's in the description. I wrote it all in the description there. You'll have to look at it. to follow it along, but it's the detective agency that's in a anime. So I wrote it in the description. I don't believe it's on the box, but it shows the different kits in the city walk, just 4 of them, but I've built all of them. But nonetheless, we'll put that over there. All right, let's get some Wi-Fi. Let's get some YouTube. Connect to the internet, of course. That's why I turned the Wi-Fi on. Is there no internet? Maybe no internet on a tablet? Okay. VU channel, Real Talk Chimp. We are live. Let's make sure we've got some audio. I hear audio. Okay, good. Now I'll be able to read your comments on there because the tablet is right there. Okay, so let's look for D6 and G43. So we have A, we have C, we have D, we have E, F, G, there's B, so G. Very pretty silk screening on these wooden plates, press board or whatever they call it. So G43. I don't see a G43. Oh, I do right up here. Okay. So looks like there's 2 of them. Oh, I'm going to break this. Let's put that over there for a minute. All right, so G43 is right. That's G4. That's G43. This one right here. Dangly off the back. Orientation. And D6. D6. There's D6. Piece is about to fall off here. Be careful. Okay. D6. So note the orientation. That little thing goes forward. You can see there's nothing on this side, but there's something on this side. So in a beautiful world, this little peg on the front here would slide into that area right there without having any issues, like that. And you hear it drop in. Doesn't seat very well, but at least it's there. Okay. Now, if it didn't fit well, you'd probably have to use your file. So we'll set that aside. All right, we need a D29 and a D9. So we need a D29. D29. Oh, here they are, up here. Now this plate may fall out when trying to take parts out. Yep. D29. Okay, are we off the back? We are. Okay. So we've got can't really zoom in on these, but some type of little convenience story type yummies, I guess. Okay. We need a G35. Bless me. for I have sneezed. All right, what did I say? A G35. There is a G35. Oops, look at that, it's an acrobat. Okay, note the orientation. Silk screen is falling off of this one because I pressed a little too hard, so you may have to glue that down if that piece falls off or if it's really a necessity. But let's put our parts on there and hope they fit. I heard it. It's squished in there. It's squished in there. See if I can get it to focus on here. There's so much stuff behind the camera that it doesn't know where to focus. There we go. Another shelf of goodies. Okay, we're looking for G44. Well, actually, we're looking for D7 and D8. There's D7. And D8. There's D8. Okay. There's them darn pieces. This is D7. This is D8. And then we're looking for G44. You sank my battleship. Wait, what? G44. Just this guy right here. Okay. Oh, so we had a piece fall off, so we're going to stick that over yonder. Okay. So note the orientation. Obviously, that is the incorrect side. That is the correct side. Okay. I'm going to place it down so it's easier to put the things on. Squish. It's on there. You either hear a click or a squish or a chimpanzee stomping it on there. That one didn't make any sound. Looks like bags of chips or something. Can't really quite tell what that is, honestly. Okay, we've made 3 shelves. We're going to make a 4th in a moment. So we need a D4. We got D4 right there. That one went flying. Okay. And we need G4. Huh. Okay, G4, which is this little critter on the end, the first one that we looked at. Note the orientation again. And then we also have another critter right here. And a critter right here. Okay. That one's squished on perfectly. Hey, Sebastian. How you doing there, pal? It's like little loaves of bread or chips or sodas or I'm not quite sure. All right, so according to this page right here, we have made 4 little shelves with goodies on them. So there's one. Yeah, your birthday is soon. What day is your birthday? And how old will you be? Well, happy almost birthday. The 21st of next month. So the next month is June 21st, 2026. Nice. If I knew numerology and astrology, I'd give you your fortune, but I know nothing of the sort. But I can tell you that I'm now on page 3. Oh, it says we have to connect these shelves to a little wall. Hey, we're making a display case. That's cool. Okay. So now we're looking for A22. A22, we knew A was over here. So A22, right on the front here. This guy right here. So I'm going to use my thumb to pop that out. So sometimes these things may require glue, sometimes they don't. So we have multiple squares on here, but I only saw one end on said shelf. I have to go now. I'll make sure to like and sub before I go. Appreciate that, Sebastian. Thank you very much. We'll check out your YouTube as well. Let's see here. So these are all going to plug into the right side, because I noticed if you look at these are off center compared to these. So I'm not sure what's going to go on that side right there, but oh, another set of plates will go on that side. Okay. So we need to turn that upside down, because if you notice in this picture here, I haven't uploaded anything yet, so don't be surprised. Oh no, that's fine. That's fine. But now that you see that I'm uploading stuff or live streaming, you should do it too. You should grab a model kit, or you should grab a painting like I did. I finished the painting that I was working on for the last week. I finished that yesterday. Or play some video games. There's all kinds of great video games coming out, and some poopy ones. So it shows a little orange, I guess that's orange, a little stripey here. So that's where it's telling me to put the first shelf. Now, if you feel that the shelves are wonky, then you can glue them in. So 2, 4, 2, 3, 2, 1, and 2, 2. So now you're knocking my stuff out of order here. I got to try to figure out which is which here. All right, let me look at this and try to reorientate. Okay. So this, they're calling 2, 3. Confused. This is 2, 1. Let's try to figure this out. 2, 1. 2, 3. This is 2, 2, so this one goes on top. And this is the last one here, okay. Okay, so that should be the orientation there, all right. Now, whether or not I mess it up, oh well. Look at that one squished in perfectly. Okay. Okay, that one's good. You hear the squishy sound. Uh-oh. Okay. And if I felt these pieces were wonky, I would glue them in. Or I'd use the file first and then glue them down. So there you go. There's the start of our little convenience store here. And again, if somebody's familiar with the anime that this is based off of, they can let me know in the comments. It's been overcast all day today and allergies are kicking up, so. All right. Okay, so now this shows us how to place them in there. Then this shows us how it looks finished. This, of course, will tell us if I put it, now I already can see that I put the wrong one in the wrong place. So the top one that I have on here should be at the bottom. So let's see. You know, the reality is who's going to know? Now I've made it my own and didn't copy theirs. Right now, I could take it apart and place the stuff where they're supposed to go, and that may be why I'm having a fitment issue. If I can get it to come apart without breaking everything. Okay, so let's take this one, put it up here. Trying. Finger's not working very well. There we go. Because you notice that this edge has a critter on the end of it and these don't. So this is probably going to go into a wall like that. So same with this one. This one has that same critter. Okay, so this one goes down at the bottom. Yeah, see, that was a better snap fit. So now you have the other holes for the other side. Oh, let's try to get that. Okay. And then you have the two pieces on the end here. So note that they'll probably go into a wall or another, or maybe a stand or something. Flush on this side. These are a little wonky in the placement here, so if you need to glue, I suppose you could glue. Okay. So now we're going to work on the back side of this. So we're looking for G38 and D3. So G38, which is this one up here. Okay, note the orientation. We'll put that down that way. G38 and D3. D3 is this one right here. Okay. Little stacks of something. I don't know. I don't read Japanese very well. I can count to 10 in Japanese. I learned that as a child, but I couldn't tell you what any of that says. So if we have somebody that speaks Japanese or reads Japanese and they're familiar with these products that they miniaturized, I mean, it almost look like these are little pieces of shrimp or mushrooms, but I don't know. I mean, I know what, if I go into a 7-Eleven or an AM/PM or, you know, whatever other convenience stores, I do know what's going to be on shelves. There's going to be top ramen, there's going to be Twinkies, there's going to be things like that, but I don't know what they are with Japanese, Chinese, Korean, Taiwanese, and other types of foreign languagey type things. I'm just building a wooden puzzle. That's all I know. Hi, Sam. Sam. Come here. Although Sam is a Norwegian forest cat, it's entirely possible that he could speak Japanese. He's a cat. Sammy, how's your Japanese? Konnichiwa. Domo arigato, Mr. Roboto. That sounded like a pretty good Japanese right there, Sam. Sammy, can you tell everyone to like, share, comment, and subscribe? Tell them at Real Talk Champ. Hey, you heard it from the Sammy mouth. Sammy knows. All right, what was I doing? Oh, yeah, that's right, building a wooden model. Oh, can you get that, Sammy? Hey, we got another one right here. All right, so we're looking for D5. D5 right there. Right there. Okay. Cool. So we got D5 and G36. G36. Right there. Okay. Note the orientation of the critter. It's a peg, but I call it a critter. This one is going to sit off most of the doohickers. The peg and the hole were off to the right, but now this one's off to the left. You see that there? So there we go. Okay. All right. Oh, it's got a little wonky there. Okay, so we got that. All right, so the next one we have is D26, which is right there. D26. As you know, normally I just upload videos that I take when I'm building these so I can speed sections up and such, but I decided after the last model kit that I went live with, I would do it again. And here I am, doing it again. Let me get this phone to cooperate. Okay. All right, G45. We already did G45. Did we do, oh, G37. You sank my battleship. There's G37 right there. I noticed the silk screening's off just a little bit on some of these. That happens. Okay, note the orientation. Okay. Heard the squish, that was good. All right. Okay, so see, that was D3. That was D5. That was D20. Okay, so we need D2. There is D2. But am I doing the wrong one? What? G37. But I used G37 for the wrong one? Where's G45? Weird. Sammy, very strange. We're in the twilight zone. Okay, we have that one. We did 38. We did 36. We did 45. Why don't we have 37? It shows 37 as being gone. It shows that we used all 4 of these, but I'm not seeing. I don't get it. I'm very confused. I am in the twilight zone. How? How did we use that part when we haven't used that part yet? All right, help me out here. We did well, I guess we're just not going to have a shelf on there because I cannot figure this one out. I am stumped. G45, G37, G45, G37 for D2, G37 for D2. How do we not have it? Where did it go? Well, we're just going to have to glue it to the wall. It is just going to have to be that way, I'm afraid. Because I do not see the part on here unless it's invisible. They did not give us an extra one. I don't get it. Nope, don't understand. All right, so let's look at the orientation of these critters. So they want that one is 4-1. This one is 4-1. I'll go to the top. So we'll do that one first. Okay. Could that have been that part that, no, that wasn't the part that fell. So 4-2, they're talking about this one here. All right. 4-3 for this one here. Okay, but this one does not have a home. Does not have a shelf. So I think I'm going to have to glue that one right there. Maybe I have one of these magic ones, you know, like the magicians use, where they put like a coin down and then they wave their hand and it's gone, you know, but it's really right there. Oh yeah, ready? I'm gonna provide magic. Magic. I'm telling you, it was right there. It was right there. Whew. See? Where the heck could this piece have gone? No, we know that piece fell off, but that's just something completely different. It's not located on F. F, it's not located on E. There's our G's. Should have been there. I had to have used it, but I can't find it. E, F, G. G goes under here. D, E. D goes there. Found it! See, it was stuck. It was stuck to C. Yeah, I was about to go bananas there. All right. We don't have to glue that on there, folks. Ta-da! Ta-da! It was a magic trick. Okay. Let's put said part on here. Connect it to its house. Okay. Sammy says he found it for me and put it there in my dreams. Okay, so we have both sides of the shelving display case. Whoosh. I had to provide you with magic too. You should hire me for your parties. It's the first time I've ever done magic. Okay. We did those steps and then we connected all of them and that's what we got. What that red writing says, it says note. 3 means step 3, the same below. Hinweis ist Schritt 1, 2, 3, das gleich unten. Remarque, signifique, el etape, whatever 3 is in whatever language that was. Identique si dessus. Nota seguito indica. Okay. There you go. So now we move on to page 9, part 6. Fold of that critter. We got to do some sides. So now we got to put some sides. So we need an A13 and an A9. So we have an A9. Which goes on that right side. And we have an A13. So you notice the A13 is pointing upwards towards this piece. The A14 is showing you that piece. So we are looking for that critter. Okay, so now we got these two sides here. Let's remember, if it doesn't fit, use the file and then add some glue to it, especially if it feels wonky. Okay, so we need to look. So right at the gate, I have a discrepancy. So I hold this piece, but on here, it shows that you have to flip it upside down, turn it around, and now the orientation is correct. So that right there should connect here, or not. Should connect here. There we go. I heard the squish and the click. Okay. And this here, that would be the wrong way. This would be correct. But notice that this peg is thinner than this peg here. So make sure that this peg is facing downward. So then you have these right here to connect onto these right here. Or not. Screwed up. I already see that. See that? It has to be wrong. So that is in the wrong place. I have put everything together incorrectly. That's why we have an instruction manual. All right, yep, I put it on the wrong side. That also is a note. If it doesn't click on there, you're probably facing the wrong direction. Okay, so we have to go this way to this side, according to said instructions. Sorry for the out of focus. All right, we're still doing something wrong here. What is going on? That's so weird. So now you're telling me that is the correct way right there. So then why this is in the wrong place? So we got to start over again. Hang on. It's like one page is completely different than the other page. One page you tell me to put these things in certain order on here. But on this page, it's completely different order. Okay, so this, see, that's on the bottom. Okay, I get it. But this one and this one are in the wrong spot. Oh my God, I'm so glad I didn't glue this in here. It does not want to come out. This should be on the bottom. This should be up here. Regardless if it says it's different on the other page, it has to because of the orientation of where the critters are. Okay. So now, if we turn it this way, which is the way it shows here, okay, and then we take this one, and we connect that with that. That makes, okay, and then we take this one and this one. Okay. There you have that. There you have that. It shows it correct on here, I believe. See the products. See the products. All right. Okay. I think that's all good there. We shall place some more sody pop in here. Get some ASMR right there, huh? Gotta love that sound. Cannot show product placement though. YouTube will yell at me. That's why you can't see that and only hear it. Okay, moving on. So now we're making another shelf. Okay. So we're going to put this aside. It's over here. And we're going to work on part 7 here, which is putting a bunch of stuff, a bunch of G's on, except a 1B. That's weird. Okay. So we need a whole bunch of G's. So let's move the A. We need 1B. Well, that'll be B14, which is here. Okay, that's B. That's C. Meow. That's D. E. F. Pretty cool, you get to learn the alphabet. G. All right, so, oh my God, we need more B's as well. There's a whole bunch of things in here. Okay, let's put that over there. So first off, we need G39. See? Wow. G39. If you were G39, where would you be? It says G39. G30. Ah, that's right here. Okay. G39. Okay, so we need to grab the B again here. Okay. So now we need B15. There is B15. We need G40. I see a G41. There's G40. Back over to B. B17. There is B17. We need G13. There is G13. B16. There is B16, not out of focus there. B16, G9, which is right there. G9 and B14, which was the first one we pulled off. Okay, but we need G18. We need that thing to put everything on. So G18, showing this one right here. Okay, so let's look at the orientation of this one here. This one's got a bunch of squares on it. We need to find the right squares. That's the wrong side. That appears to be correct. So we'll start at the top with our G9, sorry, our G39. Hard to squish. Our B15. Our G40. These are definitely meant for little hands. These big chimpanzee gorilla mittens are difficult putting these itty bitty tiny parts on. So sometimes I will reach for set tweezers. Okay. All right, so this one, let's forward a little bit. Okay, that was B17. G13, B16, no squish on that one, G9, hard to squish on that one. And the last one, which was B14. Let's try to orientate the phone here. Okay. I got a shelf of a bunch of goodies. Oh, that one's kind of wonky. They're staggered on here. And they're staggered on here to give you the three-dimensional look. It's not meant to be looked at it like this. So that wouldn't make sense because it's a 3D wooden puzzle. Give you dimension like you're looking down into it. Okay. So that's that. That shows you on here the placement of each of the critters. Then it shows you the complete thing that we just built, which is that. Okay, and it shows this going on top of the thing that we made, which is up here. What's going on there, crazy? What's going on, Bunky? Yeah? What do you see out there? You see kitties? Okay, sometimes we got to check on the monkey. Okay, so we're going to hope that these fit. Sorry about that. There's one. crunchy sound. Okay, so assuming that we put that on correctly, it should look like that. Now some of them you can see they're kind of teetering on here. Okay. All right. Oops. So that is that. So now we're moving on to 9. Numero 9. So we're going to need B18. Okay, which are, looks like there's several B18, so we must be going to build quite a few of them. Note, the parts numbered in red are spare parts, the same below. Die rot markerten tele sind arresdel. No. All right, so B18, we'll have 2 B18s. So these are little bitty guys. Okay, so orientation on these critters, or there is a slant to them. There is a slant. So that's the right side. Oh, it requires it to be turned up, yes. So turned up, the slant goes downward, and the slit part goes up. Put those there. We need a D18. Okay. Need a D18. A D18. I see 2 D18s. Let's see if we can get one of them out of here. Oh, looks like they're both coming with me. Plus another piece that I don't need. Okay, I don't need one of these, so let's find the correct direction. This one. So we'll put that one aside. And now we need the stickers. The stickers. Okay. It just says P on it. Does that mean I'm supposed to go out and pee on it? Okay, so let's build this thing first before we put stickers on it. So let's try to figure this one out. The orientation of this one here. Little critter. Gets plugged into here. Oh. Little critter. That didn't work, and that broke that piece off. Lovely. Facing the wrong way. Oh, you really don't want to go on here, huh? Yeah. This is a super tiny little piece here that seems to be easily broken. That went on easier than this side. I don't know why. It's a little display case, I think. Weird looking little critter. So put 3 stickers on the front of this one here. So 3 stickers on the front of this one here. Let's figure this out. Three stickers. How do they go? Just like that, I guess. Oh, that thing does not want to stay on there. Oh, that's pretty wonky. First of all, I'm having a problem with this little edge piece here not wanting to stay on here. That does not look right. Okay. First of all, we're going to get another one. So we said B18. Let's use one of the spares. Let's try that again. Sorry, I'm just out of frame here for a moment. I assure you I'm trying to put this together without chimpanzee smashing it. Okay, I think I'm going to have to use the file on this piece here because it does not want to connect no matter what I do. Okay. It's so weird. Super bizarre. Okay. Definitely need more hands. There you go. A little weird. Very difficult to see. I'm trying to get it to focus on here. So that's what we just created. We being me, and you all for watching. Okay. Now I got to do this 3 times. Hence the 3 times right there. All right, so I got to do this 3 times. All right, so hopefully the other ones will be easier. All right. So again, we need B18s. Oh. Okay, well that one fell to the ground, so we'll use the spare red one. I gotta go look for it. Come roll with me, let's get our little thing. And then we'll roll back over. Now we can pick up the thing we lost earlier. Try. One, and there's the piece we dropped right there. These are handy dandy grabber thingies. I highly suggest them. Okay. We got our little push tool back. All right, so now we got all these. Now we got to get that one there. That was D18. D18. Where? Oh, there it is. All right. And you want me to take the whole part out? Fine, we'll take the whole part out just to get one piece. We got it. We're good. Note the orientation. Yes, ma'am. Okay. Let's try to do this here. I got a whole bunch of little critters all around here. Let's see if we can do this. We may have to file all of them just to get them to fit. I got a piece of flash right here. So if you're a model builder and you're working with styrene, sometimes when they make a mold, they don't clean all the pieces out. So there was a piece of flashing right there. I just used the tool to knock it out of the way. Because that'll definitely throw a hindrance into your putting one piece into the other piece. It's having a piece of flashing there, throwing it off. Okay. So again, oh, see that one squished on really well. That one sounded good. That one went on just perfect. Okay. Next. Lovely. That's the sound you want to hear. There's a little piece of flash on the end of this. Try to focus. Stop focusing on the fingers. Oh, forget it. Doesn't want to focus. Okay, that one was a little squishy, a little difficult. There we go. So we still have the two spare pieces right here. So once we connect all these parts together, we can just toss those spare pieces into the accessory bag. You may be able to use them on another kit. I could have used them on the last kit because the angle of them were perfect for this roof piece that I couldn't get to stay. That would have been good to use those. Okay, so now we got to put stickers on the edges of each one of these. Plus they gave us an extra sticker, the red one. Notice that the red is usually an extra piece, so that's good. Okay, that's the one we did. Okay. That's a little too low. Oh my Lord. We have a monkey on the loose, I repeat. There's a monkey on the loose. What are you doing? Come over here. Come on, Sam. We have a grumpy monkey on the loose. Okay, let's put that one down here. Oh, I almost had it on there. Perfect. Put this guy back on the last spot there. Okay. So we have all three of these. Okay. Now we get to figure out where they go. I'm going to put the little pickers back in the accessory. Keep feeling I'm being punked because I can't open these things. They're child-proof. They're chimpanzee-proof. Okay. They're certainly chimpanzee-proof. All right. It took a little while, but we connected them. See, now it says that this kit takes 3 to 5 hours. Well, we can work on 1 hour just on that stupid little piece right there. So I find that 3 to 5 hours to be incorrect, especially if you have to file down pieces, cut pieces, and sit. Okay, And where do they go? Okay, now we got to find, so they are display cases. So D15 for the first critter. There's a D15 right there. Some type of bottles of something. I'll take D15 and put him on. Just remember, it has to be facing that slant. Okay. There's one. The next one is D14, which was right next to it. Which was right. I got to take that little edge off. Like there's D14 right here. Remember, when you're pushing them through, sometimes the pieces get stuck on the plate on the back side of it. Okay, here we go. I'm going to say these are beers. They do look like beers. Okay, so that one goes on like so. Or maybe soda pops, but I don't know. Again, I've never been into the Japanese convenience store. Then we have one left, that's D17. Oh, I think D17 fell off of one of these here. It certainly did. There's the D17. And we're done with this plate. We don't need it anymore. We can toss that away. Okay. I'm going to have to file this one a little bit. Don't want to fit in its slot. It scared me when it made that sound. Okay. All right, so that's what we did. And now we're going to connect them off to the side of our little display shelf here. Okay, so now we got to find the orientation. So let's try to figure out which one is which here. That is not that one. That one goes at the bottom. So right here. Blammo. And then that one goes in the middle. Uh-oh, sticker falling off. Blammo. So that means that this one goes on the last one. Blammo. A little wonky. Okay, try to straighten that out a little bit. So basically you're looking at connecting these three onto that side and getting that. That. Right? Right. Cute. Okay, now we're going to build something completely different. So this is part 12. We're looking for F's. So D, E, F. D, E, F. Okay. We are looking for F26. We have found F26. F26. So we're looking for F34. F34 is a funky shape. We have found an F-34. An F-31? We have found an F-31. And now where are we going to connect these pieces together? So this is the facing inward that we're not going to be able to see. So we're going to take whatever the heck this is. Okay. That was a nice snap. Take this side here. We're not going to see that part. Connect that on there. Make sure it's all straight and sassy. So if it's sitting at an angle like this, you're able to see that face, and that face. But if it was sitting this way, obviously, you would know that it would be wrong. Okay, so that's the dimension we're looking at this way. Okay, now we need G19 and G20. G19. Where are you? We have ways of making you be found. G19 right there. And G20 right below it. So here's the G20. Well, we're going to have to get our handy dandy grabber. Because we have one that has escaped and gone back to China. Oh, didn't have to go that far. It was right there. Perfect. Okay. So let's note the orientation of this one here. Do I do it with the number side up or the number side down? They're both cardboard, so I can't really tell. But it's the pegs. It's not the pegs. Well, I guess this one shows the G19 forward. So you look here. So this is interesting. So this shows the G19 that's actually silk screened onto this piece, facing outward. But the G20 on this one is not facing outward, so I'm going to assume we have to flip it over on its back there. So I know assuming is bad, but I am assuming. I am taking charge and assuming. Okay, so that there. Well, looking at this doesn't look like we're going to see any of it anyway, so we have to connect that piece that we made previously and put it on said piece. So let's look at all the little slots. Okay. We're going to set this down here. Why are you spinning around? Go to your home. Are you too good for your home? Really? I have to file? Oh my gosh. Of course I have to file. What are you thinking? Come on. No fite. El fitament es no bueno. First of all, let's make it face the right direction. How about that? That looks terrible. Okay. So all fit together. Is there supposed to be a gap there? I don't know. Let's take a look. So that's what we did there. We completed that. We set that on top of that. And we have that right there. Okay. Cool beans. We get to flip the page. Yay! We completed a page. Yay! So we have been doing this for an hour and 31 minutes, but remember we did an unboxing and a tutorial. Now we're, actually building said kit. So remember, this is ages 14 and up. Generally, they suggest a parent build with you. Sammy is my parent, and he is nowhere near me. He's here in confidence. Yes, that's me talking about you, my parent, Sammy. Hi, Sammy. See? He is my parent. Okay, so it looks like we're making, what is this, a magazine rack? Okay. I'm not sure. I don't know. Let's go. What we're looking for, this is our 13. So we put that one aside. We're looking for F-22. Now, if you are into fighter planes, you would know the F-22, the YF-22 Raptor is like the super stealth plane right now. Hottest ticket, the YF-22. But we are looking for an F-22. So we're looking for an F-22. There is an F-22. Right there. Okay, and where were we putting F-22? We are going to place it. We got to get the orientation right. There we go. We got to rotate it. I had it when I took it off the panel. It was like this. Trying to get it to focus. It refuses to focus. But I have to rotate it this way according to the instruction manual. Okay. So we are going to set this in here on that little peg. Oh, there we go. Whew, thought something broke in there. Okay, so it's sitting at a funky angle. All right, we're going to look for a D10 and a D11. A D10 and a D11. I see a D11, but I don't see a D10. So did D10 come off with some? Yep. D10 came off when it fell off of this one. There's your D10. So the center plate here is complete. The center plate here is complete, but this looks like it's an active part. So I'm going to hang on to that and put it over here. Okay, so we have our D10. Goes on the bottom. Oh, okay, this is going to require glue. So that just sets in there for the moment. So they want to make this look like it's three-dimensional, I guess. I don't know. All right, let's grab our little D11, which is there. Okay, that busted that part out. So we're going to put that in the back there. Okay. So what do you want us to do here? You want me to glue what? So the instructions shows a glue mark or a glue emblem. So I gotta assume that you want me to glue the 10 and 11 down onto that. So we'll take our handy dandy glue. Okay. So what it looks like, what I'm looking at here, is basically that panel that's already in there. With these two here sitting on top of that, I guess to give it dimension? I don't know. Okay, so we're going to place some glue inside there. I'm going to grab this critter here. Drop it in there. Take this critter here. Drop it just like that. Very strange. Okay. So let me close up the glue so I don't dry it out. I have a little paper towel here so we can wipe off that so it doesn't usually causes a glue flake to cover up the nozzle part. So here's what we did. We put that inside our little boxy thing. Then we laid those other parts on it with some glue. And we came up with that. Now what's weird, it's showing the D10 as being on top of the D11, the D11 on the bottom. So it means I put them on wrong. Okay, so let's take our tweezers. Let's take our D11, this one out, and then we'll raise this one up. Let's put this one in underneath. This one below it. I don't even know why we put that other one in there. You can't even see it. I have no idea. I don't understand. Oh, so this is a little popsicle stand. Okay, so on this one it shows D11 on top of D10, but in this one it shows D10 on top of D11 on top of F22, like all stacked. Don't get it. Okay, I'll set that one aside. So now we're on step 15. So we're going to look for a D24, which looks like the top of this box that we're making here. And then F23, which is a sign. So we're looking for D24, which is right here. Try not to break those thin little edges there. That would not be cool. Okay, and then we're looking for an F23. F23. What is F23? That white sign, so it's all the way up here. There is the F23. So it looks like it's a popsicle, one of those kind of like popsicle stand type boxes, that has like, you open the slider and you have like your popsicles and stuff that you reach down into. Okay, so we're going to take that D24. It should place right here. Or not. Let's try flipping it. No, I can't flip it around. Let's try flipping it around this way. does not want to go in there. What are we doing wrong? There we go. We heard a snap there. And was squished there. So there you go. So I guess that would be the little slider, like little slider doors would be there. Okay, so this one here, freeze, that way it goes into that top part right there. Right there. Okay. I just got to go at a weird angle here. Hey, monkey. Okay. Sorry, I had that outside of the camera. Having a little difficulty here. There we go. Perfect. There we go. Now it's starting to make sense. Still don't understand the stuff on the inside, but it's so tiny. How would you see it? Okay, so there. All the stages we did this one here. There you go. All right, so we connected and made another critter. We'll put that over there. So now we're going to work on another stage here. This is part 16. So we're going to look for F35, F47, F55, and F35 with the silk screening on the outside for orientation. And we're going to build this box. Okay. So we'll start off with looking for F35, which is right here. We got two of them. Yes. So this one here. So the silk screening will be on the front. F35 here. The silk screening will be on the outside. That's right, and that's left. Then F55, which is right here. And the squares have to be on the outside. Okay, so that's the top. And then the F47, which is right there. This will be the front. Okay. Let's get our little chimpanzee monkey hands ready to try to put this together. File ready in case we need it. Okay, so let's connect this critter here first. Okay. This one with the F35 facing outwards. Okay, no. Let's flip them around. That one's feeling a little weird. And this guy goes on top. We'll just realize something. These two are facing the wrong way. One is closer and one is farther back, so I did something wrong. So let's take them apart again. try to figure this one out. How are we going to get them to face the correct way? Well, they're not meant to be the same. So let's flip them upside down. Well, then the silk screening is off. So let's try it this way. That's correct. Okay. Oh, we got some flashing in here. You can see that right there. Scrape that out. That popped out good. Cover our knife up so we don't hurt ourselves. Okay. Something is wrong again. Okay. So your human brain probably would have picked that up a lot faster than my chimpanzee brain of orientation of pieces. So I blame you. No, just the chimpanzee brain not saying it properly. Okay. The side is not happy. Okay, it's a little wonky. But according to the instructions, it is now correct. So we did this 47 times, flipping it around. And then we made that. The F-35 on the outside. The F-35 on the outside. Fits in there just a little weird, but there you go. Okay, we made another little box. Now we shall move on. Well, we are on part 17, which has a bunch of red numbers on it. That kind of scares me. It means that we're going to make multiple parts. So we're looking for more F. So we'll start off, we're looking for two F-44s, which appear to be these cardboardy looking ones. And an F-54, which is this one here, this dark blue one. And a F-39, which is this guy right here. Okay. And now we're going to try to connect. And hopefully we get the orientation right on this one. Okay, so that looks correct that direction or that direction. Oh, damn you. I don't know. Well, let's hope that's the correct way. There. The F-44. That is not correct. That faces up that way. So that is the shape we're looking for there. That connects onto this piece. That sounds scrumptious. So now let's match that. That does not want to connect. Okay. And then we have this critter. So let's hope we're fitting this in the direction that it's supposed to be. It looks this way. The thinner boards face the front, the thinner part, according to said instructions. That sounded scrumptious. A little more difficult. No, it does not want to fit in there. Okay. So what it's looking like is a Slurpee machine. So it looks like this thing is like a Slurpee machine, like what we would normally. It's going to sit on top. Okay, so we need the nozzles. These look like nozzles. So it looks like the tray that your slushy drops into, and then the nozzles, that whatever button you press, they come spraying out there. So we're looking for F49. F49, which is right there. Oh, pieces want to come out. Oh, stay in there. Stay in there. Oh. Okay, hang on, let me go rescue a piece that has decided to take off back in China. Okay. All right, so we got that little metal part. 56, 56, 56, and 56. So right here, we got 4 56s here. So we'll try to take them out without knocking any more pieces around. They flew all over the place. Let's see where they went. We got 1, we got 2, we got 3, and we got 1 that flew in a different direction. I don't know. But one thing I am going to do is I am going to do this. I am going to go do this. See if I can do this. Oops. Can I make this cooperate? No, I don't want to cancel. All right, this is not going to cooperate. Oh, for the love of all that is holy. I'm going to put that there. Now you will stare at that because I got to go use the restroom. I'll be back. Okay. Uh-oh. We are back. Okay. So we were working in said slushing machine. So we lost one of the little things because it flew away. I don't know where it went. It didn't look like it fell off. Oh, there it is. I found it. It's behind the tablet. Okay. So we got these pieces and all these pieces here. Okay, so for the orientation, the L's have to face upward. Okay. So it looks like we're just going to connect the base or the tray where the slushy or drink. No, that's going to require a file, of course. Okay. Don't want it too loose though, because if it's too loose, you're going to have to glue it in there. There we go. A little bit of a squish. Not much. Let's get the cat hair off the hand. Okay. So there's that piece there. So now we gotta, all the L's go into this. But the L's have to face to the right. So let's see if we can do this here. That's the direction we want those L's to face. They are super tiny. Let's see if I can do it with this here. Nope. Gonna use hands. Gonna try our best to place little tiny itty bitty pieces. Okay, I guess not. There's one. I guess we're gonna have to. Okay, good. I thought maybe we'd have to file. The thing is, they don't go all the way in. You have to be able to see the blue. That one did not go. This was a little trickier because of the angle. Oh, don't fall apart. Okay. I'm going to call them like the tap. The tap. So I don't know if those are handles that you pull down and then the liquid comes down, or you press a button and they come out of the blue part down there. But anyway, that's that. Now, according to this, so now we go down here and connect it to the top of that one. Right in those two squares. Oh, don't fall apart. Okay, that side went in. That side went in perfect. This wants to get a little wonky here on this side here. Okay, so what we did is we connected 17 onto 16 and created that. Still see the F-35 on the side there. Cool. All right. So now we have 3 different things we created. We created this aisle piece here. The critters on top and on the side. Then we created a little popsicle stand. And now a little slushy machine. Or cocktail. It looks like cocktails. Okay. Nothing a 14-year-old would know about. I hope. All right, so now we are working on step 19, which is some type of carrying box or something. Okay, so we're going to look for B. Be afraid, be very afraid. All right, so that's C, that's A, B. So we're looking for a B19. These are like little itty bitty parts. So let's see what we've got here. So we got a B19. My place is haunted. You'll hear sounds behind me. Some people have caught things walking by and stuff happening in the house while I've been live streaming. So while I do have to sage every once in a while, something fell behind me or got thrown across the room. It happens. I don't know if you heard that, but maybe, I don't know, when I put the phone down to go use a restroom, if you happen to see something walk by, you can let me know. And then you can tell me the time code of what it was or when you saw it. Anyway, there's B19, so let's take that piece out. Not to freak you out anymore, but it is what it is. B10, which is right there. So I had to move one of the cameras. When I live stream video games, people have said when I've left to go use a restroom or whatever, get something to drink, the things have walked by behind the camera. And I live alone only with Sammy. So unless Sammy is able to stand up on his hind legs and grow 6 feet tall or taller, yeah. All right, so we're looking for a B9. There is a B9. Am I freaked out by it? Nah. Now, because they don't seem to be malevolent. So this house is old. It's more than 60 years old, so there have been multiple families. People have, I'm sure, passed away. All right, so B8. And the other B10. Which is right there. Okay. Okay, so we have that B10 facing that direction, that B10 facing that direction, the B8 facing this direction, the B19 facing that direction, and the B9 facing this direction. All right, let's see what we could do here. So we're going to connect that there. Is that correct? No, it shows it facing the other direction. So let's rotate this. That fit better. That still doesn't look right. So there's a highlight along this edge here. Okay, so that must be for this one here. Okay. Still shows it different. So it must be silk screened wrong. So according to this piece right here, it shows a highlight on that edge. except on the piece here, the highlights on the opposite side. So even if we flip it around, the highlight's still on the opposite side. And I don't see it on this one. So unless we rotate, no, yeah. So I can't, the silk screen's backwards, I guess. Oh well. What can you do? I kind of wish that the ghost would tell the other ghosts to at least subscribe to the channel, for crying out loud. You know, come on. Really? I said you should subscribe to the Real Talk Chimp, and you got to throw something else? Why are you so pissed off? Hey, Sammy, come in here and investigate the ghost. I don't know what's the difference. I've been here almost 2 years. I've been here last 2025 in May, and I don't recall this kind of activity, but yeah, whatever. Maybe this May is special. Okay. So remember, also, there's a little critter right there, a little peg. That has to be on the back. So make sure everything's facing correctly. So you see it underneath here, the little critter peg. So this is what we did here. Cut that piece. There it is right there with the sail tag going in the upward direction and the peg being to the back. Okay. So it looks like we're building another box or another stand. Okay, let's get our file. I'm not sure how many pages or parts to build this. Usually take like anywhere between 1 and 5. So this one is definitely part 1 here. And we'll probably, let's see, what time is it? It's 7:40. We're good. We can go for probably another 40 minutes or so. Okay, so now we're looking for G11. There is G11. The orientation should be that direction. We're looking for G8. G8. There it is, G8. And the orientation for this appears to be this direction. Okay. So that's the left side. That's the front. Now G10 will be the right side. Here is G10. Be the right side, and G12. There is G12. Oh, I took out a panel. Okay, G12. But we're still going to need this because there's parts on here. So we'll set that aside. All right, so here's G12. That is that right side. Okay, make sure that's all orientated correctly. Okay. This has to connect down to here. No, it does not. You're right. How about this side? No, because you see the white, that doesn't make sense. The white has to be on the bottom so that it matches this. There we go, that sounds better. That white matches there. Blue stripe, okay. And then this parts connect onto this critter. Very reluctantly. Oh boy. All right, we're going in different directions here. Okay, a very odd shape that we have just created, but that's what this is telling us. So now we need G17 to go on top. G17. G17. There's G17. It's like a marble countertop. It's kind of cool. Okay, so it's an L shape. So it looks like this here. Or not. Okay, that didn't want to stay on. I'll try to connect it again. It's all falling apart. Okay. Oh, of course, so I'm putting it on wrong. So let's try to get all the parts have all fallen off. Okay, that shows the right direction. Okay. How does G12? G12 connects only to the sides and not the top. That is G10. G10 connects only to the sides and not the top. This guy is the back. He connects right here, but he refuses to. Why they don't have a peg here? It seems so off balance. Okay. There we go. I think it was a lot easier connecting all the stuff to the top than trying to connect the sides and stuff together. I think that's what you should do for sure. Okay. Because in this stage here, it shows you connect all the sides together and then place the top onto everything. But since it's all wonky and not stable, I think you should just connect this stuff to the sides. So basically, we did that. Then we did that. And got this. Pegs facing the correct directions. And that's not dirt on top. That's like an actual like marble like looking top. You know, but the countertops are that like laminate. Like this is supposed to look like a marble countertop, right? I feel wood everywhere and a laminate top. So I think that's like a laminate top. I don't think they'd put real marble in a convenience store with it. Maybe they would. Maybe, who the heck knows? All right, so that completes step 20 there. Now we'll move on. Oh, it looks like we're going to be connecting everything to a floor. We are well on our way. Oh, the little flash back in the box where you belong. Okay. So now, look at this step here. Wow. We're going to do all kinds of connecting to a bottom. A bottom. Okay. So all the little parts that we created here. So we are looking for D1. We are looking for a D1. We have found a D1. That is a big old giant floor right there. Okay. We've got a D1. So let's look at the orientation according to set instructions. We got a blue line. I don't see a blue line. Okay, I see this. Maybe because of the angle it looks blue. That's possible. Okay, we got a lot of holes and all kinds of critters that need to go in certain spots. So let's figure out what goes where. So we want to put the thing we just created. This thing has to face Oh, that's weird. This is showing an image on the side of where this is, but we weren't told to put an image on there. Wait a second. Did we miss a step somewhere? See, it never tells us what's on the other side of G10. What could that possibly be? What could that image be right there? There's no image on this. There's no sticker to put on there. I don't understand. All right, let's just figure out where it goes. So it went there, it went there. Let's see. Please don't fall apart. Ooh, luscious sounding. Like bones crushing. That's what the sound is. I'm thinking what we're seeing is this, the angle. The angle of the big board is compressed, and for some reason, if we turn it all the way this way, then that looks correct. Then it does look correct that there's an image on that sideboard. So that really can screw you up with that orientation. Okay, the next is the display case. And we're going to put the display case over here. Oh, please don't break. You know what? Because I don't trust it, I'm going to file these pegs down a little bit. Just a little bit. Because there's so many pieces on here, if that I manhandle it or chimp handle it, everything will come apart. I don't want that to happen. I catch myself. Chimp handle it. Does not want to press in. That side's fine, but nope. I'm going to file it some more. Oh, lovely. Scared me a little bit, but we got it. God, you can imagine how there's no wheelchairs getting into this place. They are very, this is, how the hell, you got to be super tiny and super skinny to fit through this, to get through this little spot right here. That's ridiculous. I'll tell you, the ADA is definitely not in Japan. How the heck would anybody get around there? Okay, anyway, moving on. All right, our slushy machine goes into the right side here. I mean, this has to be for little children. It can't be right because they have beer and stuff like that, but I don't know what the age of drinking and consent is in Japan, so. At least that aisle is a little bit wider than this one. That one's so narrow right there. What if you wanted to bend down and look down at the lower? Okay, I'm getting ahead of myself. The frozen popsicle stand doohickey goes somewhere, goes into the piece to share with F-35. Figure out how we can see that. Nice. Right, that's the frozen aisle right there. So you got your frozen popsicles and stuff like that, your little cocktail slushy said machine there. Okay, and then we have that little grocery box bag thing. Sale has to face that way. That critter goes right here. Oh, okay. All right, let's take a look at this mess that we created. All right, we started with 20. Pressed it into those slots right there in D1. Then we got 11. And then we pressed it into those slots there and we got 18. And we pressed it into those slots there and 15 shares a spot with 18 in that same square there. And then that little grocery box bag fit down into there so that you have something that looks like that. I'm going to think that the battery box is going to sit right there on there. That's what I'm going to think, but I could probably be wrong. So now, this is what we have created. Very sassy. So maybe this is where the attendant would stand with a cash register. Possibly, I don't know. It's our little slushy machine there. Okay. Of course, you wouldn't see it from this side, but because of the cardboard. So we would turn it this way, and you'd see it from this side here. Let's see if I can focus that. Cute, very cute. convenience store is coming together nicely. Shall I move on, or shall I let this go as part one and continue tomorrow for part two? You let me know. You type in the comment and let me know. Nope, nobody typing in the comment, so I guess we're going on. All right, so we are working on stage 22, part 22, stage 22, something 22. All right, so we're going back over to G. We're going back over to G. Okay, so we're looking for G26. That is G26. Okay, G26 faces that direction. G25. G25 does not want to come apart. Well, that didn't hurt or anything. So G25 faces that direction. We are looking for G27. That is G27. Something fell off. So G27. Oh, you do not want to go into your spot. There we go. Okay, we're looking for G23. That is G23 right there. It's like a Torii gate. Also, those spaceships in Tron. Okay, it faces a different direction, so that has to be this direction here. Whoa, that does not want to connect. Very reluctantly crouched at the starting line. Engines pumping and thumping in time. Can't go any farther, I get a copyright strike. G24. That is G24. Ghastly maneuver for second place. Okay, so that goes on the bottom. Looks like I'm gonna have to connect that piece first. I see how it goes. It does not connect there. It connects on top. On top is where it goes. It looks like some type of keypad. Oh, that does not want to connect. Nope. All the prying is just going to break it, so we're going to file. Okay, very strange looking device. That's that. Okay, it is a cash register, okay. So that goes there. Then we're needing B11 and G30. B11 and G30. Well, let's grab a G30. Which one is G30? It's that shape right there. It's like the gooseneck of said cash register. And we wanted B30. Oh, we want B11. There is B11. It's a computer screen. Okay, so let's look at the orientation here. G30 goes through here. Oh, there's the back of the monitor. That's cute. That's the front of the monitor. That's the back of the monitor. You know, imagine shrinking that down and putting that as a little silk screen. Ooh, that is one tiny little computer screen. Okay, so then we put this into there. Oh, without breaking anything. Okay. And that's make a little cash register. Make sure the tab facing downward. So we have just completed 22. Created that little box, and then we put the monitor post and then the monitor and created a little cash register. Very cute. All right, moving on. Step 23. Couldn't begin to tell you what that is. That's a different step, so we'll do this one first. So we'll keep that aside. And we will be looking for E's and a G5. So let's find our G5. There's our G5. It's inside this plate, a whole nother part. Okay, so that's our G5, but our G5 is inside the plate. So let's try to pry it out of here. So we should be complete with the G5 plate. That's not an active part. That is the part that we want. So we'll set that aside. Then we need E's. We got E's over here. Okay, we haven't used E's yet, so we need E18. We have E18 right there. It looks like all the parts that we need are right here, except for 16. Nope, everything's right here. So we need E18. We need E15. We need E16. And E17. So all the parts that we need are right in that corner there. So we'll grab all those and we'll put them down into the order that we need them. So that's facing this direction. Okay, and then the 15. It's facing this direction. And then 16. That is facing this direction. And the 17. That is facing that direction. Okay, now we have to build this tiny little critter here. So let's try our 15. It's not feeling right, so let's try this side. Okay, so we needed to flip it around. So that connects onto there. So now that rotates and connects onto here. We hope. It's not feeling right. We may have to file that little piece. Ooh, scary sounding, like things are gonna break. And then the little critter here goes on top, faces a different direction. Let's figure this out. Let's figure this out. So it goes, goes like this. Let me raise that up a little bit so you can see that. Okay. All right, so let's make sure we're facing the right direction. Okay. What on earth are you doing? Okay. So this goes on top. Reluctantly, again, does not. Please don't fall apart. The file, because they don't want to fit into their slots. Once again, this kit is supposed to be built in 3 to 5 hours. I don't see that happening. Just because of the fitment issues. But that's with the majority of these kits have fitment issues. And all the Reddit posts about all these kits, they will always talk about the fitment issues. Sam? Thank you, buddy. You're right. It's time to come inside. You're absolutely right. I know you want to stay out all night, but the owl will take the Sammy. And we don't want the owl to take the Sammy. Okay, so we created that little box there. Now we're going to connect to whatever the heck this thing is. That fit lovely on there. So give me a second. Roll with me for a moment while we close this door and piss off for Sammy. Okay. All right. Sammy. Okay, so we created whatever the heck this thing is. So we did all of these. And created that. Radar dish, I don't know. All right, we'll put that aside. We are going to make another display case. This is number 24. I don't know what these are, little donuts, maybe. They look like little clamshells, but I don't know. So we're looking for C13. Meow. So C13. C13 is this base right here. C13 and C29. C29, two of them over here. Meow. Okay. So we will connect these critters. The one stuck to the back. C29. Okay. Okay, so we did that on the step 24. We connected those two there. We created that. Put that aside. So we're now looking for, okay, now we're going to have a part that we got to glue, it says. So we're looking for C12, C34, and C14, and we need to glue them to that tray there. So let's go back over to C. Okay, so we're looking for C12. There is C12. C12, and we're looking for C34. Oh, there we go. C34 right there, and C14 right next to it. How they got those numbers, C34, and I don't get it. But whatever's on here looks very tasty. Okay, now we're going to glue these critters onto this little tray. So we're going to get our Elmer's clear, we haven't used in a while. Get the little plastic little stuff off of there. Okay, so let's see here. So C34 goes on this one, and C14 goes in that direction. Okay, so there's no, I'll just put a little dot right here, and a little dot right here. That sounds like a firework. Grab our tweezers, drop that on there. Grab this one here. Oh, those are definitely fireworks. We're not even in June yet. Crazy. Okay, so we made a cute little thing there. Let's put that on the table. Okay. All right, so now they want us to take these two here. Generally, I would let that dry. And these two here, and put them onto B6. So let's see, B6. There is B6. Okay, so B6 is the back. So let's see how we do this. Those are going to go on top. Those are going to go on the bottom. So just press that on there. And then this one. These probably will fall off. You may need to glue them back on if they do fall off. Oh, that is a tight fit there. Okay, so let's make sure those are reorientated on there. When the glue dries, you won't see it because it's clear glue. Okay, so we'll go through those steps that we did. We connected those little critters there, glued these pieces on here, then we took those two and connected it to the B6 and created that little shelf. That is that little shelf right there. Okay. So now it looks like we're going to put some sides on here. So we're going to need 2 B7s. Okay. There's our B7s. Now I know there's master videographer type people, the editor type people that could probably take my entire live stream and speed it up in certain spots and et cetera and stuff like that. I'm not quite sure how to do that. Now when this thing gets uploaded and archived onto YouTube, I think I can go back and edit. I think, but I think it's probably better if you put it through some type of processor to be able to edit. All right, so we want to make sure that the orientation is correct here. So this goes into the back here, like so. Same with this one here. Oh, it does not want to go. There we go. Whew, scared me. Okay. So we put those two sides on. Made sure the orientation was correct. We got that. Put the two sides on. Made sure the orientation was correct. And we got that. Sweet. Okay, it looks like we're now enclosing said monkey. So we're going to put B13, C11, B12. We're calling this B26 because that was that 26 right there. So we're looking for B13. First of all, we're looking for B12. We have found B12. We're going to place it onto the front with the red side down. Ooh, I snapped that right there. But I did manage to get that to go down. Okay. We're looking for B13 now. There is B13. Careful taking that out. And we just lost a floor or ceiling. Okay. Okay. So now we have the B13 is going to go right on the top here. Perfect. Okay, and now C11. It's running away from me. C11, which is right there. C11. That's going to go on top here. Let's make sure we're facing it the correct way. Is there a correct way? That one on there, easy. Okay. So this is a rotisserie. This looks like a rotisserie. This must spin around inside here and heat up the critters inside there. So we did that, B13, B12, and C11 and created this guy. So I think this is some kind of rotisserie. Whatever's in there looks yummy. Okay, so that was step 27 completed. All right, now we're going to put some sides on a building and connect some critters here. Okay, so let's try to figure this out. Okay, so these little critters go over this way. So we need to face this way. All right, so our rotisserie connects onto these two tabs. Let's move this into the center. Our rotisserie connects onto these two tabs. Facing which direction? facing outward. So this direction. Okay. Then our register faces what direction? Faces this way. Connects onto this one here. Oh, don't break. Please don't break. Oh, get a file. Won't fit without completely snapping everything. Okay, which way are you facing? You're facing that way. Let's try to figure this out. Very odd. All right, that shape won't fit into that slot, so how? You're telling me to face it this direction. I guess so. And this has a G21 attached to it now. So let's go over and look for G21. There is a G21, some type of display. What's that? Order here. I don't know. You can figure that out. Okay, so that connects onto here. And then this connects onto this open hole right here. We hope. Oh! It looks like it's framing this thing. Wow, what a tiny little place this is. Tiny little place. Okay. Right. So that is all that shape right there. So now we have a D12 and a D13 corner wall. Where is our D? It has ways of making me find you. I think those were the pieces that fell apart. Possibly. D13 and D12. Yep, those are the parts that fell off earlier. There's one. There's two. Okay. So let's see how we put them together. So blue goes top, brown goes bottom. Blue goes top, brown goes bottom. Okay. Of course. Oh. Okay, so now you go where? You go here. And you face, oh, you face that direction, okay. So you go here, in theory. Of course you don't fit in there. Why would I ever think that? Sammy, why would I ever think that this piece would fit? What was I thinking, Sammy? You see the ghost? Oh, he is fixated on the closet door. Nope, still won't fit in there. What's that ghost doing, Sammy? Okay, so now we're looking at this. So what we did was we created the 13 and the 12 to make that pillar, placed it in its spot, and there it is. In case that's wonky, nope, it's good, okay. So it sits against that wall, slushy machine and popsicle stand and such. Okay, so now we'll move on to step 29. We're about to hit the 3-hour mark here. So we want to go to F. Okay, so I want F51, which is right here, some kind of diamond plating. It's like a coffee machine or something. Okay, we want that, and we want F57. Here's F57 right here, this kind of black piece here. Let's see where that. F57. Okay. 57. Oh, first we have to build something. So we need F45. Here is F45. Okay. And F45 facing this direction. Okay, and we need F40. There's F40. So F40 is facing unknown direction. And then F43, there is F43. F43 is facing this direction, and then F52. F52 is this stainless looking part here. All right, let's build this little critter. So that faces that direction. So this goes in here. Okay, maybe it doesn't go in there. Does not want to go in there. Ooh. Okay, so we're going to file this down because you can see the flashing is falling off. That was way too. Just refuse to go into that spot without tearing more coloring off of it. We'll just file. Let's try that again. Better. It's almost like it's going to happen to the other side, but let's just try it and see. Oh yeah, it's not even gonna go in there at all. Zero. Awkward little parts. That was perfect. Okay, so then this is the top, the top piece up here. Let's try to figure this out. It shows white on there, but I don't see what direction it's supposed to go in. So we'll just try and see if it fits. If it doesn't fit, we'll flip it around. That does not appear to be correct. So let's flip it around. Getting no cooperation from this piece. Got it. Okay, so that's this thing here. Okay, so this goes on an F38 base. Well, first of all, this edge here with the metal side down connects onto here. Okay, because I can break in chicken bones. This one here connects through here, but you leave the bottom peg out because it's going to connect to a board. So it just sort of sits there, but I'm just going to leave it there for... I'm sorry, what's that? What's going on? What's going on, Sam? You want to come up here? Sam? So we're looking for F38. F38 right here. Okay. So F38 is the base of what looks to be a coffee machine. Okay. So how do we connect that? What direction? Let's try it this direction first. If that doesn't go, no, that went. Okay. So it looks like a little coffee machine. A little espresso machine, maybe? Okay. So what we did was we connected all these pieces together to make the actual unit. We connected that faceplate onto it, the tray onto it, and stuck it to that board. And there it is right there. And it looks like an espresso machine to me. Guess. Okay. So that's number 29. Moving on. Oh, now we're done with that piece. We'll move that aside for now. We got a monkey. A monkey has joined us. That is Sammy the monkey cat. Hey, Sam. Sammy has to investigate everything. Sammy has to give it the stamp of approval. Right, Sam? Yeah. Because Sammy's here to keep us mellow. That's why we keep our blades covered and the points down on our things in case he steps on stuff. All right, Sam. Cool, man. Thanks for hanging out, bud. I appreciate it. Okay. Sammy wants you to hit that like button. Sammy wants you to share at Real Talk Chimp with your friends and family. Sammy says to comment, keep Sammy entertained, and to hit that subscribe button. Right, Sam? Tail's wagging. Right, Sammy? Yep. Okay. You're going to give us the Sammy stamp of approval? Hi, Sam. You want to go inside there? Do you want to go inside this box? What's in there? Is there a Sammy in there? There could be a Sammy in there. There absolutely 100% could be a Sammy in there. Okay, we're on step 30. Which looks like we're going to make some more shelves. So we're looking for F32. There's F32. We're looking for F41. There's F41. They look like little pudding cups. Or little ramens, little like ramen containers. Okay. And those are going to go on F29, which is a bench or tabletop or something. Here's F29. Okay. So make sure we get the orientation correct. Just here. Put these little cups right here and here. Perfect. F32 right here. So there we go. Created that. Okay, now we're going to go and look for F30 and F31. So here's F31. Here's F30 and F31. Conveniently next to each other. Okay, make sure we get the orientation. Perfect. So that's that. F30 and F31 creates that. There you go. Okay, so now we're going to make a display case. So we're going to require F33. There is F33. We're going to face that correct. F48. There is F48. There's F53, which has a pattern on it, which faces this direction. This faces this direction. This faces this direction. And now we need an F24. There's an F24. Okay, that's the top piece, and that faces forward. Okay, so what are we doing here? We're taking this one here. We're connecting this critter down here. Connecting this critter right here. Then we're connecting this side here. These are always a little tricky for me. There we go. This is the back. So we want the white facing forward. Okay. This is the top, and we want those tips facing forward. Ooh, that hurt a little bit. No pain, no gain. Not wanting to go. I snapped off a little flash in there. Got it. Okay. So what we did was we did F33 connected to both 30s, step 30s. F53 and then F48 and F24, we created that display. Cute. Okay. So now we're putting some faceplates on. So we're looking for F42. There is F42. Kind of hard to see, it's right here. F42 connects onto the front here. Guess it doesn't require any glue. Okay. F25. There is F25. Okay. I guess people get offended when I ask them to Like, share, comment, and subscribe. I don't know why. Sorry that offends you. Okay, looks like we're going to need to glue this. This does not want to stay. Let's see if we can get that in there. Okay, without everything falling apart. Okay. Everybody together. Everybody together. Oh, it just keeps wanting to fall apart. All right, I'm going to drop a little glue in here. Almost looks like a medicine chest, but I know it's a display case. Okay, so what we did was we connected the F42 faceplate with the sign, the advertisement, and we created this. Lovely. Okay, so that was step 32. Moving on. So we are on step 33. We're going to connect our coffee maker and our display box with a wall, B2, a B2 wall. B2. That looks like B2 to me. That's B2. Okay. There's a B2. Those are all little pictures on here. So we have the orientation correctly. This is the back side. Looks like a staircase going up to the detective agency. Okay, and we are going to put our coffee maker that we made, number 29, onto these two squares. Oh. All right, press that on there. Okay, and then this one here goes into the 4 squares there. What is it? Oh, it's because the face plate's sagging. Okay, that was pretty easy. So that there was putting step 29 onto the wall, step 32 onto the wall, and getting that. Cool. All right. Step 34, looks like we're going to be building a staircase. So let's put this aside here for a minute. I get something to drink. All right, we're going to look for a bunch of E parts. E, A, B, C, D, E. Stairs are always a pain in the tush. All right, we got to start off with what? We got multiple boxes. I'm going to do all kinds of things in here. Making all the steps. Making the turn, going up the stairs, up to the next level. Putting the sides together. This is going to be fun. This may be our last step of the night here. All right, let's figure these parts out. Son of a mother father. All right, E11 and E9. We have a whole bunch of them. So we have an E11 is our top plate. And one E9. Okay, so we have that one, that one, that one, and that one. Okay, so we have our E11, our E11, E11, and E11. And then we have our E9, which is a bigger piece. And that goes that way. So with the orientation correct, that's what we're looking for. Okay, so the next one is an E10. Of course, we have two E10s, so take the first one here, rotate it this way, put our piece right here in the back. There's our E10, we'll put that aside. We have another E11 and an E10. Rotate it properly. Oh boy. Okay. So we have that one. So then this last one here is an E9, which is right here. Make sure it's facing the correct way. Connect your E11. Okay. So we have these critters here. Okay, now we're looking for an E12. We have an E12. Odd shape. So we'll put our E12 here. Then we're looking for an E13. There's an E13. E13 here. We're looking for an E7 and an E8 right next to each other. E8, which is a pillar or post. Okay, so now we're going to try to connect these here. So we want this square facing this way. We want this piece to go here. Then we want this piece here. We want to connect this onto, oh boy, there, an angle. And then we want this guy right here on top of this guy. Just like that. Nothing's connecting the angle on here. It's just kind of floating above it. But that's that right there. Okay, so now that right there was this whole set. E12, the E8, the E7, and the 13 that created that. That whole thing there, okay. Now we're looking for an E14. Okay. Oh, it's this part here. This part here. Oh! We're probably going to need that. Yeah, that's a part of the base. We're going to keep that. Because here's our E14 here. Okay, here comes the fun part, everyone. The moment you've been waiting for. Trying to make these parts stay. Well, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to get to filing. Because I can tell right now it ain't going to work. Just by the size of the little hole this pig has to go into. And we'll do the bottom ones, just in case. Okay, so now the fun part begins. The thing is this sits on the right side of everything. So let's figure this out. So if it sits on the right side, then where we connect these things. These connect in the center. Like so. In the center. And we just go up. Okay. In order of making everything. Okay. Lovely. Oh, that one's a little wonky. And then the last one. Oh, almost threw it away. Blammo. So it's kind of hollow in here. All right, so we have done all this wonderful stuff for you. We built all the little steps. We built the angle that goes upstairs. We filed down the plate and we connected everything. And we have created this for you. From the convenience store up to the detective agency. Isn't that cool? All right. We shall connect it to a wall. So we go back to 33, which you remember our friend that had the backside, had that staircase imprint and the railing. It's not a real railing, it's a 3D railing. It depends on how you look at it, because it's an optical illusion. There's the inside of the store. That sits on the outside. So if you're looking at the box here, you can see that you have the convenience store here, but the detective agency upstairs. So on the side here, there's a side way to get up the stairs and up into the detective agency. Cool beans. Cool beans. All right, so now we're going to try to connect this critter somehow here. Oh, don't scare me. Okay, so now we're connected here. So what we did was we took step 33, which was the wall, step 34, which was the staircase, connected it to those two squares down below, and we got that. And that illusion of the stairs going behind, that whole facade like you would have in a TV, you know, when you watch like a TV channel and you see the people go up the stairs in any show, in any TV show, right? They go up the stairs and they just disappear behind the wall because it's not real, it's all facade. But it's super cool. So not only are we building this little house and home and store, we're building a movie set, because technically it is, being that it's an anime, that it's in an anime. So it is basically a TV set. All right, so we are now taking that and connecting it, that staircase. So when I thought that was going to be the battery, it's actually the staircase going up in our little convenience store. So now that, it's going to connect over here. So let's figure this one out. It's going to be these two pegs here are kind of connecting in it down into those slots there. And that's our goal, while not knocking everything else down. There they are down there, right there, and right there. And they are now connected inside said store. I don't know why that. I suppose when we start building everything around it, things won't be so wonky. But I think I'm going to put a bead of glue right there, just to hold the wall down. It doesn't say that you should do that, but I'm doing it. Does not want to stay connected. I suppose if I had a rubber band in here. Do I have a rubber band? Little hammer came with one of these other kits that I had. Never used it once. I got another hammer and another kit. Never used it once. I guess I'll have to add some rubber bands in here. So this kit that I have here that I'm showing you, that I built with all the other kits, but it came with some basic stuff. I have that in the description as well. And you can obviously start building your little toolkit up with all the goodies that come. And this is meant for plastic models. I guess we can keep this on. This is meant for plastic models and wood models and what have you. Okay. So we put that wall together with a staircase. I think I'm going to call it here because I've been doing this for 3.5 hours. I could try keeping my eyes open for a little bit longer. Let's see. I could try making these other shelves here. Okay, let's put this critter aside. Oh, wait a second here. Why are we getting wonky? What happened? Why did we come apart? Let's get back into our spot. There we go. Back into our spot. Okay. We tried to glue. Didn't want to stay, but leave that over there to glue. Okay, so we'll build these shelves here. Okay, so we want to go over to F. Let's close our glue. Like the top. Okay. Oh boy, look at all of that. We are going to be doing all of that. This is like when I tried to, I haven't built the library yet, and I'm still deciding if I'm going to buy the library kit, and it's got 4,400 pieces. The biggest model, the biggest puzzle that I put together, just a horizontal flat puzzle that I built, like the biggest was 1,000, 1,000 pieces. I have never put together a 4,400. These are three-dimensional puzzles. I don't know why they call them puzzles, but I guess because it's pieces that fit together. Maybe that's the thing. All right, so we're looking for F1. Here is F1. Okay, let's figure out the orientation this way. So we're looking for F6. Here's F6. F6 goes here. We're looking for F7. F7 is here. F7 goes here. Okay. F13. Looks like these little ramen cups. F13. Goes right here. And the last one is F14. F14 Tomcat. Right here. F14. Always has to be one that doesn't want to fit. That's so weird. Okay. So now we're looking for F4. F4. Here is F4. So let's face that the correct direction. We're looking for F11. F11. Connecting that onto here. We're looking for F12. No. F12, F12 here. Connecting that. Perfect. You're looking for F13. F13 is here. Connecting F13 here. We're looking for F16 Falcon. It's like a Snicker bar in Japanese. F16 here. Okay. Now we're looking for, so this is step 37, but in step 1, step 2, or part 1, part 2, part 3. We're looking for F2. There are 2 F2s. Here's F2. Let's grab this one. Which is which? There are 2 F2s that have 2 different directions. Let's try this F2. We're looking for F10. There is F10. Soda cans. Okay. Ooh, that was a shoddy fit right there. We're looking for F-17, Falcon. F-17 is the stealth fighter. So that one goes off to the right here. That one fit lovely. Okay, so we did this one here. That's the wrong one. That was this one with the ramens. Then we did this one here. Two. And this one here. Lovely. And we move on. Well, we got more. We're building a big display case. Okay, so now we got that one there and that one there. So we're going to go with F2. That's why we saw the 2 F2s. Get the orientation. Okay, so we're looking for F8. There is F8. And we're looking for F-18. F-18, that's a fighter jet too. Okay. There we go. Okay, we're looking for F3. Let's put that orientation this way. We're looking for F9, dar. That's not going to work. Okay. I'll put the guy right here. Okay, we're looking for F20. Right there. Stick to the back. Oops, stay there, stay in your spot. Stay in your lane. Right there, squish sound. And we're looking for F19. There's F19. It looked pretty scary when we saw it all over this plate, but we cleaned that up pretty quick. Okay, So now we got to connect all that on some sides. So we're looking for F58. F58's right here on this side. So let's make sure we have the orientation correctly. That is facing the correct direction. And we're looking for F28, which is this one. Again, we got to make sure we have it facing the correct way. Oh, this is not going to be fun. All right, here we go. Whew, let's try to figure this out. Which one goes where? That's the question. Okay, I think we have it all lined up, the direction it's all supposed to go here. I hope. Okay. So let's start at the bottom. Worst comes to worst, we are gonna have to use the file. Think positively. There can be only one. We are on top of the ramens. Yep. Okay, now let's see if we can get this all to fit. Aligning is the most difficult for me. So I don't push it all the way inside just so I can get each one into their spot. Then once they're aligned, then I can push. Careful, careful. Okay. Okay, so we've put that together there. So now we need a center post or pillar, which is A21. First we'll grab F5, which is the top. And now we'll go back to A21. I don't know why they're so out of order on these things. Sometimes I just don't understand why they do that. Okay, so A21, which is here. Okay, and the orientation, they have pattern on both sides, so you can't get this one wrong, I hope. Okay, so that is going to go, but you got to make sure that that post is fitting at the top. So we're going to just slide that straight into there, perfect. Okay, and now the top. Top is showing the pegs, and it's announcing that the pegs must be on the top. So those announcement markers right there, we haven't seen those before. So make sure that those are facing the top. Okay, or I'm sorry, facing forward. Facing forward because it's going to be sitting like that. So, and it has no color on it. So I assume maybe they'll put something on top of it. Don't know. Okay, so I can already see that's not going to make a connection. So we're going to start filing. Okay, that doesn't fit. Let's flip it around. Nope, it won't work because that's on that side. So it has to fit this way. There we go, there we go. Go to your home. Are you too good for your home? Are you seriously not gonna, you're misaligned. Why would you be misaligned? Oh, there we go. Lovely. I just want to reach in and grab everything off of these shelves and munch on them. Okay, so we're going to show you what you did. Put all that together. All that together. Then we connected the sides. Then we connected the top and the center pillar, and we got that. We got that. Now we're going to connect that to a wall, the wall that holds the battery box. So this is going to be step 40. So this is 39, being that it's this one here, 39. So we are going to look for an E5. An E5, which is a little tiny, it's just a little like little door handle. And this is for all the LED battery boxes. And then we're going to look for the E4, which is right above it. And then the A1. A1, which is this wall here with the battery compartment. That's that display case we just built, but I have to put it on here now to give it that 3D feel. Okay, so does it require glue, or we just put it straight on there? Looks like we just put it straight on there. Okay, let's move that aside. So we're just going to connect this straight on here. That side fit perfectly. Those are the wonderful sounds you do want to hear. Sounds like it's breaking, but it is not. Still have those pegs facing forward. So now we're going to take our E5. Now this is going to be loose. Generally on other kits, this whole little thing here has a bunch of little flanges that hold things together, but it doesn't appear so. So this will be facing outward. So this is going to connect here onto that. Sometimes I glue this. And we're going to take it out and see if it'll even fit. Nope. All right, we're going to file. Because it's almost a guarantee you're going to have to file. Just bear with me for another few minutes. We're almost done here. Nope. Refuses to go. Wow. That is really difficult. Really, really difficult. It shouldn't be this difficult, you know? pull this door off. Got it. So it's meant to act as a door to hold the battery box in there. It's supposed to. Okay. So what I just did is connect E5 through the wall, through the battery box slot, and put that little tab on there. So again, in theory, it's supposed to rotate and secure this door on here. And when it's facing the right way, you can pull this door out and put your new batteries inside. Cool. All right, that was 40. Whew. Let's see if we can get through 10 minutes of this. We may vomit. That is possible. All right, we're looking for F27. So F27, which is this guy. Okay, and he just goes and connects right. That a second. So he goes and connects right where? Right here. But he faces this way. So the cardboard faces out, and he faces this way. In theory. There we go. Okay. And that's what we see in there. So we just connected F27 into the floor of 36. And that's what we got right there. That's what you see. Right there. A little wonky because it's not connected to that wall. Okay, so now it's telling us to put a wall on the backside here. So this is 41 configuration. So we're looking for 40, which was this wall. And it wants us to put it on the back of this. So it's going to be rising up a little bit because you see of the edge here. So the foundation will be below it like a normal building. So that slot and that peg, in theory, should connect. These pegs should connect to those slots. So cross your fingers and toes. Not looking good for the home team. Ooh, that scared me. Okay, we're not connecting for some reason in here. Oh, lovely. Okay. Oh, no, that one fell apart. Come on. Not sure why. So I think what I'm going to do is put a little cement in here, a little bit of glue. Just right atop here. Let it sink inside. Everybody's connected. Everybody's connected. Can you imagine trying to walk up these stairs and go that direction there? Like you have to shimmy yourself into there. But again, it is a facade. Okay. The cool thing is, oh, that as well does not want to stay connected. The cool thing is look at the pictures here of the detective hat with the magnifying glass, letting you know there's a detective agency up there. Okay. So that's what we did. We connected that wall and made sure that those pegs fit into that wall to get that, which is that right there. Okay. And the last part of this looks like a ceiling B3. Well, see, this wall is not wanting to stay connected in here. So again, it's going to require being all connected with all its pieces. So B3, did B3, was that one? That was one of the ones that fell down, right? B3 was one of the pieces that fell off at the beginning. So B3 has to connect. Let's turn this way. B3 has to connect. Make sure that's facing the right way. B3 has to connect to this one here. But nothing connects to it down below, or no, it does, but everything seems a lot higher. That does not look right. Okay, very tight fit there. Okay, so we have connected the ceiling onto the wall, and then connected that wall up into that ceiling to get this. Got a little shoddy up on here. So you figure this top step here and the ceiling, a person has to be this tall, about an inch tall. But then an inch tall in here is they could barely reach up onto the counter. And these look like they're too, I don't know. Maybe they have to duck down to get inside. I think so. All right. We have got a ton completed today in this almost 4-hour live stream here. But I'm going to end it here because I think I need some sleep and maybe some food. And if I glued parts, I want them to glue together, stay together. Some parts are a little wonky in here. So you just want to be really delicate. These are really delicate kits. So let's make sure our glue is closed. Okay. And put all our little parts. Let's get our Sharpie tools and set them aside so nobody steps on them. Okay. Those can go there. This is some type of piece. We'll leave that there. All right. Anybody have anything to say? Say something if you see something. See something if you say something. I don't know. Anyway, my name is Real Talk Chimp. Normally, you see me playing on a PlayStation 5 video games. But yesterday, we finished our Blooming Desert, and today we picked up our DIY miniature house, Beika-Cho convenience store. This is a fictional place, but fictional? Yeah, fictional place because it's based off of an anime a building in anime, a detective agency. Has the store down below, the detective agency down, up above it. This is part of the City Walk series of the Japanese City Walk, even though the kit's made in China. The original kits were made in Japan, but you have about 100,000 different little companies that knock off these sets. So you can dig deep. The actual real set's like $200-300 because it's made in Japan. So the Chinese ones, the Taiwan ones, the Korean ones, the different ones that are knocked off, they're generally a little bit cheaper. I've seen them on Temu for $2. I think I paid $40 for this one, this kit. Not suitable for children under 14 years due to small parts. But yeah, this model number is CWGC222. Real Talk Chimp, live streaming on YouTube at Real Talk Chimp. That's RealTalkChimp. If you like the type of content, hit the like button, share at Real Talk Chimp with your friends and family, and of course, communicate with me. I like comments. I communicate with everybody. And subscribe to the channel. 98% of you are not subscribed. I don't know why. But yeah, here we go. Our cute little kit here. All right, with that being said, I will catch you on a flip side. Peace and chicken grease, everyone. I hope you enjoyed at least the first part of this, part 1. And we'll be back with more goodies soon. Thank you, and bye-bye.